I want to talk to you about the different types of small business insurance. And it's really important to have a clear idea about the type of insurance that you need based on your niche, based on your economic sector, but also based on the regulations you have to comply with. That way you can save money, right? That way you can choose the best provider. And most importantly, you can think about reducing your premiums over time. You can take the right action to reduce premiums, okay? So here's an overview I want you to pay attention to. So if you are starting a new business or you have an existing business, you want to really be sure about the types of small business insurance policies to keep your company safe from the potential cost of claims, damages, and lawsuits. Because the last thing you want is to people to come after your personal assets. You need to protect yourself at the business level so that you don't have to lose on the personal side of things. Okay. So in today's conversation, I want to quickly give you a roundup of important small business insurance policies. So here are the options I want you to really pay attention to. The first option is business liability insurance. So it's also called general liability insurance. So what it does is that this policy pays out to others when you are responsible for, let's say, accidental property damage or injury, God forbid, but those things happen, okay? So as a small business owner, you may be legally responsible, let's say if a person's property gets damaged at your business or away from it, and if your business is responsible for someone's injuries, not including an employee's injuries, general liability insurance would pay for their medical bills and lost wages too. Okay. So this is a really important. And by the way, it's not your employee because your employee, if your employee is injured, we're speaking here about workers' compensation, but I'll speak about that later on. For now, I want to talk to you about business liability insurance. So liability insurance also pays your legal cost if someone sues your business over this matters. Okay, that's kind of cool. So other claims handled by general liability insurance include reputational harm, advertising injury, but also a copyright infringement. So basically, general liability insurance policy costs about $50 to $75 per month. Another type of small business insurance I want to talk to you today about is actually a commercial property insurance. Commercial property insurance, a big one you want to really have, because this type of policy protects the physical location of your small business and your business equipment, computers, and office furniture. Okay, so owned and leased business equipment are both covered by this policy. So this is cool because you want to really cover even leased business equipment. So basically, you are talking about coverage for tools such as inventory, supplies, valuable papers and business records, but also outdoor fixtures such as signs and fences. This is kind of cool. So, a commercial property insurance policy typically applies to any loss to your small business property due to perils such as lightning, you have wind, hail, and fire. And commercial property insurance also covers thefts as well as acts of vandalism. So this will set you back. This type of insurance policy will set you back about 60 to $70 per month. You also have another type of insurance policy, and that's business interruption insurance. So this policy replaces lost income from a small business if you need to temporarily shut down due to a loss covered by the policy. This can be a lightning strike or a fire. So other perils covered by this business interruption insurance include thefts, wind, and falling objects. Okay, that's what they call acts of God. So if any of these problems strike your small business, business interruption insurance pays for things like the revenue your business would make if it were open. Okay, so that means the insurance company will take a look at your P&L, the monthly mortgage, lease, and rent payments for the business space. You have loan payments for the business, taxes, payroll. You have also relocation costs if you have to move, say, to a temporary location. So business interruption insurance will cover that also. And also, if you have training costs for employees to learn new equipment, business interruption insurance can also help you. Okay. By the way, this is also called business income insurance. So if you hear the terms business interruption insurance or business income insurance, they mean the same thing. And this will cost you anywhere from $40 all the way to $150 a month, okay, depending on your business. Next, you have business owner's policy. So this policy actually bundles general liability insurance, commercial property insurance, and business interruption insurance together. Okay. So this is that if you think about it, this is really an affordable way to buy small business insurance. So buying the policies separately will mean higher prices. So now a business owner's policy will cost you about $60 to $70 per month. Okay, so if your company has, let's say, less than 100 employees and revenue up to $5 million, you are really a good candidate for a BOP. Okay, so this is really cool. You also have commercial auto insurance. So commercial auto insurance is needed for the cars, trucks, and vans that your small business is using. Okay. So you are speaking about property damage liability. You have bodily injury liability. You have combined single limits, so the CSL. You have collision insurance. You have comprehensive insurance. You have medical payments and personal injury protection, so your PIP. And you also have uninsured motorist coverage that pays for you and your passengers' injuries if your vehicle is struck by an uninsured driver. God forbid, but listen, this kind of stuff happens. You have uninsured drivers on the road, okay? So a personal auto insurance policy typically excludes any business uses of a vehicle. So if you fail to get business auto insurance for work vehicles, any claims you make could be denied. You would end up paying for any accident and other damage all on your own, which could get very expensive. So this is kind of important. And commercial auto insurance costs a median of $150 to $200 per month. So because the personal insurance policy won't cover business-related driving, consider buying non-owner auto liability insurance if you are renting vehicles for work. Another insurance policy I want you to really pay attention to this year is cyber liability insurance. I mean, in this economy, the internet has become a part and parcels of our lives, part and parcels of the way we run businesses, okay? So you got to have this sort of cyber liability insurance. So this policy pays the cost of recovering from a cyber attack or a data breach, right? Somebody hacking into, like if you have a hacker get into your data, for instance, cyber liability insurance will actually help you pay for it. So this is important, okay? Let's say some private customer information gets leaked from your company's database. If the customer files a claim against your company, cyber liability insurance will help pay for the cost. And cyber liability insurance will also pay for things such as notifying customers impacted by a data breach and offering them free credit monitoring. So let me show you some common expenses cyber liability helps to cover. So you have customer and employee lawsuits due to privacy breaches, lost income because of network outages, public relations costs to restore your company's reputation after a data breach. I mean, this can really be really high. The PR that you have to really implement to restore your company's reputation, and also ransom payments you have to make to get back your data access. Okay, as well as regulatory fines. Those are important elements to really consider if you are thinking about cyber liability insurance this year. And like I said, in this economy, if you are a small business, you really want to consider that cost because anything can happen. Somebody can hack into your database and really deny you access. So if you don't have that kind of insurance, it can be very costly, especially when it comes to paying that ransom. I mean, those hackers may ask for 10 grand or 100,000 or 1 million, depending on the value they assign to the data they have. So if you have to pay $1 million out of your company's pocket, that could be really expensive. Okay, so the median cost of cyber liability insurance is 145 to 175 per month for small businesses. So pretty decent. So if you're looking for types of small business insurance, I want to really consider also E&O insurance. So E&O insurance stands for errors and omissions insurance. Okay. And so if you're a small business provides a professional service or let's say offers advice to clients, it's a good candidate for errors and omissions insurance. Okay. So this type of insurance does a lot of work because it pays for costs resulting from mistakes that you make in your work. And this insurance is also known as professional liability insurance. So if you are a doctor, if you are a CPA, if you are a lawyer, whatever, okay? So errors and omissions insurance will pay out to customers who make a claim against your small business. So these types of mistakes include misrepresentation, violation of good faith and fair dealing, negligence, and giving false or inaccurate advice. So it also pays for legal defense costs, judgments, and settlements. So without E&O insurance, you will be on the hook for reimbursing customers out of your own pocket and paying for a lawyer, okay? And this can be very costly. So if you are, let's say, an accountant, an advertising agency, a graphic designer, an interior decorator, if you are a management and business consultant, if you are a real estate agent, if you are a tax preparer, if you are a technology professional, or even a travel agent, you might want to really look into this E&O insurance. Okay, now the median cost of E&O insurance is about $60 to $75 per month. So it's pretty accessible, pretty affordable. Okay, especially if you are in what I call if you are in a quote unquote high risk sector, you want to really cover yourself. Also, other types of small business insurance that I want you to really pay attention to this year include technology errors and omission coverage, as well as commercial umbrella coverage. So, technology errors and omissions coverage basically are those. This coverage is super niche, super specific. Let's say if you work in the technology field, you may be able to purchase an E&O policy specifically for your type of work. Technology errors and omission insurance pays legal and other costs from claims made by customers against a small technology business. Okay, so types of small business technology professionals that could benefit include computer consultants, internet service providers, IT contractors, software developers, as well as website developers. Okay, so the median cost of technology E&O insurance is about $65 to $72 per month. What about commercial umbrella insurance? So, commercial umbrella insurance offers an extra layer of protection above the other liability insurance policies of your small business. So, this is the kind of, like the name implies, it's an umbrella insurance policy. That's if you want to have more coverage, okay? Once you reach your liability limits on an underlying insurance policy, commercial umbrella insurance will provide additional liability protection. So, this type of insurance covers expenses such as medical bills of others, damage to someone else's property, your legal costs, court judgments, and settlements. Okay, and you can use a commercial umbrella policy with a general liability policy and a commercial auto policy. This is kind of cool. Let me give you an example. Let me give you a concrete example so you understand what I'm saying. Suppose your company is sued for $1.2 million, but you have only half a million in a business liability policy. Commercial umbrella insurance would cover the 700,000 shortfall. $700,000 shortfall. So commercial umbrella insurance costs about $75 to $100 per month. The final insurance policy I want you to really remember is what I said a few minutes ago. That's the workers' compensation insurance. So, if you have even one employee for your small business, you will have to sign up for workers' compensation insurance. This is actually mandatory from a regulatory point of view. So, workers' comp, that's another name for it. That's how it's also called. Workers' comp pays for work-related illnesses and injuries for your employees, and it's required in most states. Okay, like I said, it's really mandatory. So this insurance covers medical care, lost wages, and disability benefits for employees. So basically, if you're looking for cost, small business customers pay a median premium of $45 to $55 per month for workers' compensation insurance. So, what are the extras here? There are other types of small business insurance to actually consider this year, okay? The one that I just gave you are not the only one. You have others. You have directors and officers insurance, so DNO insurance. You have inland marine insurance. You have product liability insurance. You have builders risk insurance. So if you think about DNO insurance, for instance, here is a policy that covers the decisions made by the directors, officers, and board members of your company, for instance. So if those individuals are sued, DNO insurance can pay for their legal expenses. For example, directors and officers could be sued by employees, vendors, investors, or even customers for allegedly having some wrongdoing in managing the company. You also have inland marine insurance. This covers products, materials, and equipment transported on land by truck or train. So it will pay for property that has been damaged, lost, or stolen. What about product liability insurance? Well, this covers claims and lawsuits that a company's products caused injury or property damage. So if you make a product, this is good insurance to have in terms of safeguard. You also have builders risk insurance. So this is also called course of construction insurance. This provides property coverage for buildings and structures under construction. Okay, this is important. So it's important to understand that if you are a small business, I'm not saying you need to have all this type of insurance, but trying to have those that are applicable to your industry. You can also ask your insurance brokers what kind of insurance that you need. Okay, so in terms of the types of commercial insurance that you have out there, you have about 14: business liability insurance, commercial property insurance, business interruption, business owner's policy, commercial auto insurance. You have cyber liability insurance, errors and omissions insurance, technology E&O insurance, commercial umbrella insurance, workers' compensation insurance. So this is pretty solid to really have in mind. So, in conclusion to this conversation, I spoke to you about the types of small business insurance you need to think about this year. I gave you the overview, the options, the extras, and now the conclusion. Thank you so much. God bless you. I will see you next time. Until then, remember, stay marvelous.